Chapter 1. Static in the Sky. The night of December 5, 1956, was supposed to be just another routine flight. A C-119 flying boxcar, call sign Flight 1956, lifted off from Andrews Air Force Base under. A sky bruised with storm clouds, the crew, a seasoned pilot, a navigator, and a radio operator had done this 100 times before. But this time, the sky had other plans. The first sign something was wrong came at 22:37 Eastern Standard Time. A garbled transmission crackled over the radio, the voice of the pilot, Captain Daniel Reeves, barely cutting through the static. Mayday, mayday, this is Flight 1956. We've lost our bearings. The instruments are. The rest was swallowed by a burst of white noise, like the sky itself was swallowing his words. At the control tower, the air traffic controller, a man named Harold Briggs, adjusted the dials, his brow furrowing. Had heard strange things before, coast echoes, phantom signals, but this was different. This was real. He keyed his mic. A Flight 1956. This is Andrews Tower. Repeat your last transmission. Over. No answer. Just a hollow of dead air. Then another voice. Not Reeves. Not anyone Briggs recognized. A man speaking slowly as if from a great distance. You're not supposed to be here. The words sent a chill down Briggs' spine. He scribbled the transmission in his logbook, underlining it twice. Back in the cockpit, the crew of Flight 1956 was fighting, a battle they couldn't see. The compass spun wildly, the altimeter flickered between numbers that made no sense. Outside the windows, the storm raged, but the turbulence was wrong, too erratic, too precise, like the plane was being pushed, not just by the wind, but by something else. Reeves leaned forward, squinting through the rain-streaked glass. That's not right, he muttered. The navigator, Lieutenant Mark Holloway, followed his gaze. Below them, the ocean stretched endlessly, but the coastline they'd expected to see was gone. Just water, and then something else. A flicker of light deep in the storm. Not lightning, not a beacon. Something moving. The radio operator, Sergeant Ellen Carter, gripped her headset tighter. Captain, I'm getting something. It's not. A distress call. She hesitated. It's a countdown. Reeves' hands tightened on the yoke. What kind of countdown? 10, 9, 8. The voice was mechanical, distorted like a recording played backward. Carter's breath hitched. 7-6 cut the feet. Reeves barked, but it was too late. The last thing they heard was a single echoing word. 0. Then silence. At Andrews, Briggs slammed his fist on the console. Flight 1956, respond. Nothing. The radar screen blinked empty. The plane had vanished. Not crashed, not diverted, just gone. The search began at first light. Fighter jets scoured the skies. Ships combed the Atlantic, but there was no wreckage. No bodies. No sign of Flight 1956 at all. Then, 3 days later, a single piece of evidence washed ashore on a beach in North Carolina. A logbook waterlogged and barely legible. Inside, a single page had been torn out. The rest contained a single, chilling entry written in Reeves' hand. We're not alone. The military classified the incident immediately. The press was told the plane had suffered a catastrophic failure. The families were given condolences and a flag. But the truth was buried deeper than the ocean, because Flight 1956 wasn't the first plane to disappear that year, and it wouldn't be the last. The storm had passed, the static had faded, but the questions remained. What really happened to Flight 1956? And why did the sky refuse to give up its secrets? The answers lie in the next chapter.